I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBM, we're diving into a powerful memoir, a memoir of pain transformed into purpose. The name of the book, Where Your Waiters, From Panic to Peace, Volume 1. It's written by a terrific author. Her name is Simard. This soul-stirring story shares how faith, healing, and divine love rescued a woman from lifelong trauma and self-destruction with raw honesty and unshakable belief. This author guides readers towards hope, peace, and a deeper relationship with God. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. And thank you so much for joining us here today.
Logan, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's talk about the title of the book first, Where Your Waiters. Tell
Okay.
us what that's all about.
Well, I struggled for a long time with the title, and the title changed many, many times.
Mhm.
And I was visiting a friend one day, and when I visit you, I don't look at anything but you. I'm there to see you. And I happened to glance over at the window, and there's a pair of waiters hanging on the window. And I said, when were these hung up here? And the answer was, they've always been here. You just never noticed.
Mm.
And I thought, what a perfect title for the book, because the book is going to get deep. You're going to get deep in the water. Jesus tells us, you got to get in the water. Don't just play around on the shore, but get in there deep. And my book gets pretty deep. So you better wear your waders.
It's a great metaphor and it's perfect. What inspired you to share your story with the world?
I've tried for many years to write the story and would end up just crying and depressed,
Mm.
and I just could not do it. And then one day in November, when I woke up, Jesus said, it's time. Sit down at your computer. It's
Mm.
time to write. So really, it wasn't me. It went so quickly. Chapters were done in 45 minutes. It was insane. It was all God.
Amazing, amazing. When was the turning point for you? When did your life go from despair to redemption?
I saw low points, I think, until I followed the call to Alaska.
Mm.
Alaska has completely changed me. And of course, I always say this is where God's glory is. Come and get it. But yeah, but it's so peaceful. It's so calm. And I went from this woman filled with rage over all that had happened to me and
Mm.
all I see happening to other people to this woman of peace. I went from a woman who would, as we're raised in Pentecostal faith, you're binding and you're declaring this and that.
Yeah,
And now I just send angels of love to people because it's love that heals everything.
absolutely. Living in Alaska for most of us who are here in the continental 48 United States seems very exotic, a place we might visit, but to move is quite extreme. Talk to us about your calling to go there and what type of work you've done since you've been there.
In June of 2019, Jesus said, I need a prayer warrior in Juneau.
Mm.
And I started to do some research, found I could not do the work that I did in Pennsylvania in Juneau. So I start to bargain. And I know we all know that bargaining with God, and it doesn't work out. So finally, he sent me a huge sign because I always said, don't hit me with the 4x4, drop a shopping mall on me. Then I'll see the sign. So the big sign came, and I just decided to come here. And I'm in Southeast Alaska, which is remote. It's mostly islands. There's four, I think, no, there's five villages that are on the mainland, but I'm on an island across from the mainland,
Mm.
accessible by a bridge. So it's not that remote. But the
Right.
only way to get here, the only way to get goods here, the only way to get gravel for construction here is by boat or by plane. So everything comes in. We have no farms, we have no nothing. It's but it's beautiful. You improvise. These people are so incredible. I'm just amazed at the things that they do and how they make things work.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
you're living in a community like that, that it's a little bit on the frontier. It might not seem it to you, but it seems it to us. Like I said, down here in the 48, you really do count on your neighbors. You really do count on your church. You really do count on humankind, right?
Oh, absolutely. We do a really great thing here that if you no longer have use for something, you put it on the sidewalk
Mm,
and people come and take it. It's just
yeah,
marvelous. Anytime you see anybody call for help, there's always a lot of people who respond,
yeah,
especially during, I happened to move here shortly after the word COVID hit the nation.
yeah,
And for people who were sick and they were saying they were sick, they can't get out, people were just responding saying, give me your address. I'll drop by with soup. What do you need for groceries? I'll go get you groceries. I mean, it is, someone said it's like living in the 1950s in the lower
yeah.
48. And
Nice. Well, that's a great way to live when people were less addicted to their phones, more addicted to other people in a healthy way, and helping neighbor out in tough situations. So that's wonderful. Um, Tell us about your healing journey. I know you were saying that you really went into high gear when you got to Alaska, but I'd imagine over the years there was a transformation, going from that hurt and the pain to feeling more comfortable with God's love, God's blessing. And I guess I have to ask you, what role does forgiveness play in all of this?
I have found that in order to heal, you need to forgive.
Hmm.
Even in 2018, I had such knee pain that I could barely walk, but I continued to walk because I had a son to support. And I
Yeah,
was the sole supporter.
yeah,
And I learned from a friend who said, you need to forgive. And I would just lay in God's presence and ask, who do I need to forgive and for what? And as I forgave, my knee got better and
mm,
better and better. And then I learned to forgive myself.
mm,
The therapist who I first came in contact with in 1990 had me build a little room in my heart for Jesus.
mm.
And I always knew that he was with me. I always knew that he was inside me. I always knew he saved me from everything. But building that little room for him just helped me so much that I knew he was always there for me.
Yeah.
And that was fabulous.
Yeah, amazing. What advice would you have to others who feel, they're on the wrong path, that they're worthless, hopeless, broken, perhaps? Uh, Somebody who's struggling on their journey. What advice would you have for them?
Well, and I've given it. I was a nurse in primary care for a while here in Alaska. And they also do addiction services. And people would come in and they would want to get off their heroin or whatever it was, and they just didn't know how. And they didn't know what it would be like. And I could tell them, look at me, would you believe that I was a drug addict at one point in my life? I shouldn't have any teeth for the amount of methamphetamine that I took. But look what God did. God preserved me. And he can do that for you too. And I now have hope. And you can have hope too. You just need to look at that light at the end of the tunnel because it's there. Reach for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Forgiveness is there. Eternal salvation is there. We do just have to ask for it. We do just have to embrace it. We do just have to believe.
Exactly.
Um, what was it like writing this book and kind of reliving some hard times as well as your time of your redemption?
By this point in time, Jesus knew that I was healed enough that I could write it so that now they're just stories.
Yeah.
There are triggers that come up from time to time. And of course, you have to deal with those.
Hmm.
But that's all just stories now. They're true stories, but there's no longer any pain affiliated with them.
Wonderful. Talk
Yeah.
to us about what it means to live with childlike abandon.
It's the most wonderful thing in the world. I mean, I do pay all my bills. I am a very responsible adult in that way.
Mhm.
But when I see an eagle on the ground, I run toward it. I'm like a
Mm.
2-year old. And that's what it's like, the tide's low. Heck, I'm headed out to Outer Point. I
Yeah,
can see all kinds of, that's what it's like. It's the excitement about
yeah,
this life that we've been given. And I think that we were meant to be excited about it. Jesus said, come as little children.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
never lose that sense of wonder. I mean, that's what it comes down
exactly.
to. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
And
I
that's the
think,
joy of being around children is they look at everything as new and wonderful and amazing. And, things that we think are ordinary are special to them.
yes. And everything in this world is special. It's a gift to us.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Everything is a blessing. Every day is a blessing. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. This is volume one. How many more volumes are you planning? Tell us a little bit about your writing.
Well, volume 2 was just published.
Great.
And I'm working on volume 3. I don't have direction from the Lord yet. I have ideas, but he hasn't said sit and write yet.
Okay.
So, it's his timing. It's not mine. Everything is in his timing.
Exactly. It's his plan. We just have to try to understand it to the best of our ability as we go along. Well,
Yes.
wonderful work with this book. It is called Where Are Your Waiters? From Panic to Peace, Volume 1. There's also a Volume 2 coming. It's just published. Volume 3 is in the works. This book today that we've been focusing on is a testimony of triumph that reminds us that healing is possible, even from the deepest pain. And thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much, Logan. It's been fabulous. I appreciate your taking this time.
I appreciate your time as well and your insight, your candor, and your wisdom, and your wonderful faith. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on the Global Book Network.